One of baseball's brightest prospects may be an 18-year-old, but don't look for this guy on the field. Don Daler shows us how he's covering all the bases as a rising star in sports journalism. Don, good morning.
Good morning. Baseball writers and reporters from major media outlets such as ESPN and Sports Illustrated rely on years of experience and access to break news in their sport. But they now have competition from a Massachusetts teenager who's scooping stories all without entering a press box or team clubhouse.
It's like a bear wearing a baseball.
Oh, it's your boy!
CBS-Cotillo isn't your average high school student. Unlike his classmates, he spends his study halls working a side job as a baseball reporter, and he's schooling the pros.
Breaking news.
Chris Cotillo, the high school guy, is reporting that it's anywhere from 4 to 6 players involved.
My man Chris is struck again. Chris Cotillo. Go ahead, Chris.
How did you get into this?
It's always been my passion. After years of being a fan, I decided to start keeping track of things on an anonymous Twitter account a few years ago, and that gained a substantial amount of followers, and after a while gained my own sources, and I've been able to break some stories on my own.
How do you get the dirt that no one else can get?
A lot of texts, a lot of emails, a lot of phone calls, and a lot of denials, because people don't know who you are, especially if you're 18.
For baseball fans of any age, $100 million contracts and blockbuster trades grab as much attention as a pennant race. Even in the off-season, the baseball news cycle never stops. It's an all-encompassing job for any sports reporter.
And you're going to write 2 responses.
Especially one who has homework.
It's a challenge every day. Texting contacts while the teacher's teaching and doing homework and writing stories every night. There's a lot going on at all times.
Moonlighting there, Cotillo? Focus.
Are there situations where you have to turn off your phone?
There are, yeah. Pre-calculus.
That must drive you nuts.
It does. So, Mrs. Dorr, if you're watching this, you know.
Lighten up.
Yeah. If I have something that I know is going to be breaking within that 45 minutes, I'll just silence it and keep it under the desk or whatever, but... Not that, yeah, exactly.
He's not really doing that. For the first year, most of Chris's stories, written on the sports blog SBNation.com, focused on small trades and signings. Then, in December, he hit a home run.
So let's get right to it. The major trade, a stunner. The Tigers sent Doug Fister to the Nationals.
The Doug Fister trade was a big story.
Ken Rosenthal is a veteran baseball insider for MLB Network and Fox Sports.
For Chris to break that story, that was quite impressive. It literally came out of the blue, and obviously he had been working his sources.
I think I gained 3,000 followers that night. Not just fans following, but important journalists and players and everybody.
He has kicked my butt on a few stories. So, to me, he is a peer. He is a legitimate competitor. And at the same time, I know he is someone who is younger than my oldest son, and I just admire what he has done.
How's the season going?
For Chris, it's all for the love of the game.
This whole thing has been beyond anything I could have ever imagined. I've always been interested in baseball, always wanted to keep track of stuff, and never thought of it as a career path before maybe 3 months ago. So it's been really fast and extremely rewarding.
Chris will not be going straight to the pros while he'll continue to write for SBNation.com. He's going to college. Chris graduates from high school in a couple of weeks and will be attending the University of North Carolina in the fall.
Oh, Chris.
I love that he's doing this in pre-cal class.
That's too.
All right, thanks, Don. You're watching CBS This Morning.